Hey, I'm Clifford Stemmie, the pop song professor, and today's 2-minute meaning song explanation is about the song Cancer. It was suggested by Human Toy Bonnie, the female bunny. Now, a lot of folks think that the song is by 21 Pilots because they just put a cover out, but it's actually by My Chemical Romance from their 2006 album, The Black Parade. Quick warning, usually I stay pretty objective in these videos, but at the end of this video, I'm going to give a little tiny bit of an evaluation of this song. You guys can still make your own decisions about whether you like a song or not, but I wanted to give a little bit of my perspective on it. The song starts out with a cancer patient asking somebody else to turn away and get me a drink. He wants the person he's talking to, quote, call my Aunt Marie and to prepare for his death because he knows he's dying soon and he wants to be ready. But, adding a little bit of tension to the song, he sings, I will not kiss you because the hardest part of this is leaving you. I think he's afraid that this kiss will make things feel more final, and it'll make it harder for him to bear the idea of losing the one he loves as he dies to cancer. The second verse refers to the hair loss that comes with being, quote, soggy from the chemo, and has him reminding his girlfriend, quote, know that I will never marry, as he's, quote, counting down the days to go. He's reminding her of how serious this is, and letting her know that she will be his last, maybe only love. The song wraps up with him singing, quote, and I just hope you know that if you say goodbye today, I'd ask you to be true, because the hardest part of this is leaving you. Now, this last part confuses me a little bit. He could be asking her to never marry since he stayed true to her until he died, which would be kind of a lot to ask. But he could also be asking her not to leave him for someone else until after he dies. In either case, he's asking her to never forget him. He wants her to stay true to the memory of him and who he was. Overall, Cancer is an emotional journey. Lead singer Gerard Way called it, quote, the darkest song ever. In his words, the song is, quote, directly about the disease, but also, quote, cancer is being used as a metaphor. He doesn't specifically explain the metaphor, but it seems to be about that darkness he mentioned. For him, cancer is symbolic of loss and darkness and death and dying and all of these things. Now, some of you may think that the song Cancer is a little overdramatic and that trying to write, quote, the darkest song ever is a little bit overdramatic too. And you'd be kind of right. Cancer has beautiful instrumentation, but it does feel like it's trying too hard to get us to cry without really describing what cancer is actually like. I've been around dying people before, and people who thought they were dying, and they don't usually say the kinds of things that Gerard Way is singing here. After all, it's not really up to them to plan their own funerals. But the song does highlight a need that many of us have to feel emotion in lives that sometimes seem bland or unexciting or predictable. And thus, many like to listen to it. And thus, despite the missteps and the sentimentality, I think Cancer is worth the listen just because it teaches us a little bit about humanity and about ourselves. It's an exciting song, and I'm interested to hear what you think. Do you like the song Cancer, or do you think it's too sentimental and kitschy? Please let me know down in the comments, and I'd be happy to talk with you about this because I think it's a hugely interesting conversation. I'm not a big fan of emotion for emotion's sake. I think there needs to be a reason or a greater truth behind it, and I'm not sure that Cancer has much of a greater truth behind it other than the fact that things can be sad, which we already know, and there's better ways to describe that than to come up with fake situations that kind of are manufactured or engineered just to make us cry. I'm going to back off. I told you that I would probably be a little bit more opinionated about this song, and I want to leave room for everybody to be able to make their own decisions about this song. So if you want to join this conversation and other conversations like it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you liked this video, don't forget to hit like too. Oh, and don't forget to suggest a song for me to explain down in the comments too. I've got a long list and it continues to grow. I'm excited to see what you guys got for me. He brags about his success, he tells competitors to back off, and I think he even hints at the emptiness of the celebrity life that he's living. It's super heavy and dark sounding. So a lot of people think it's about some post-apocalyptic scenario or some deep, dark, heavy quest in a sort of mythical, futuristic sci-fi movie or something like that.